Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now April 2nd of 2020, and ever since the release of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney and Lucasfilm. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that as of right now, things really are changing for the better, I must add, by new Disney CEO Bob Chapek. He's really giving a major facelift over at Lucasfilm to really make a better future for Star Wars, not just as a brand, but also as a series of films and TV shows for the Star Wars community entirely, to really reunite the fan base once more, right? We've seen how there was a similar divide when fans really disliked The Phantom Menace, and how a lot of fans were not too impressed with the prequel trilogy era, but we've never seen anything like this with the sequel trilogy movies, right? This is really on a different level that we have never seen before, ever since The Last Jedi, and it's up to Bob Chapek in order to really bring the fans together. And the first step to doing this, of course, has all to do with Ahsoka Tano coming in the form of live action, and even an Ahsoka Tano TV series that is currently in the early development phase. Now, what's really interesting about Kathleen Kennedy is that we do know that pretty much her power is being phased out over at Lucasfilm. A lot of things really are starting to shape up over at Lucasfilm, and exactly how the future of Star Wars will be handled. Now, what's really intriguing is that now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new trilogy of films as well as their new Star Wars universe. It's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm are currently developing multiple ways in order to reunite the fans around the world to create a better future for Star Wars in general. Now, it's explained that currently Disney's new CEO, Bob Chapek, is making many changes over at Lucasfilm in order to change and create a brighter future for Star Wars, where it's noted that behind the scenes, Kathleen Kennedy has been very frustrated with her creative control being taken away from the existing Star Wars projects that are currently in the early development phase over at Lucasfilm. And that as of right now, Kathleen Kennedy is planning on leaving Lucasfilm sooner than later, and that she plans to step down as the president sometime this year of 2020. It's explained that once Kennedy lost her creative freedom over at Lucasfilm, she has been very frustrated with certain decisions that have been made by the new Disney CEO, Bob Chapek, where currently Kathleen Kennedy is only in charge of the financial end of the Star Wars project, and is no longer in any way, shape, or form in control of the roadmap or the creativity of Star Wars. It said that Disney's new CEO, Bob Chapek, is currently in control of that specific roadmap of Star Wars, and exactly how the future will be laid out and planned out for the future for the Star Wars fans. So the thing about all of this, right? We do know that a lot of fans, myself included, were really against Kathleen Kennedy and her leadership, very incompetent as the head of Lucasfilm, and I think it's quite a, refreshing feeling to actually, know the fact that pretty much her time is nearing its end over at Lucasfilm as we roll throughout this year of 2020. We've seen this big change with Bob Iger stepping down as the new Disney CEO. Bob Chapek took over, and not just that, we're also seeing a lot of creatives, I should say, being taken out and being put in over at Lucasfilm, also others that are being promoted, like Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. So I can really see why Kathleen Kennedy would want to leave right now. She no longer has control on a creative scale, on a creative level, if you will, over the new TV shows, the new movies, such as the new trilogy, and so on and so forth. It's almost like that Kathleen Kennedy only would have stayed if she actually had control, creatively speaking. So, the other thing that I actually want to dive into here is that Bob Chapek is really trying to create a legacy for himself. Now, is he really going to surpass Bob Iger as a CEO of Disney? That's going to be a big question, right? He's going to be handling Marvel, Star Wars, all these other, aspects of Disney at the same exact time. But what he is really focusing on primarily is Marvel and, of course, Star Wars, because those really are two big brands that make great revenue for Disney, so you can only imagine, what they're really trying to do. He's not only making changes to Star Wars, but he's also making changes over to Marvel. So you're going to see different tones of what's to come for the future Marvel films, and, different tones for the new Marvel TV series to come on Disney Plus and more. So the thing about Kathleen Kennedy essentially planning on leaving Lucasfilm and how, she's going to be planning on doing this year sometime in 2020 before it really takes into full effect in early 2021. I think it's great news. I think it really is a light at the end of the tunnel. I think it really does tell us, the fans, that, there really is a lot of change coming our way, and it really does tell us also that, these new Star Wars movies and TV shows are going to have a different feel to it all in comparison to what we actually felt with the sequel trilogy movies. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.